Take two people with identical education sitting in the same office. While one worker struggles to manage constant chaos, the other is calmly executing their day and steadily climbing the ranks. This performance gap stems from a hidden architecture of daily behaviors. Aristotle argued that we are the sum of our repeated actions, meaning excellence emerges through the steady power of habit. To identify which habits lead to this level of effectiveness, Dr. Stephen Covey analyzed 2 centuries of success literature. He distilled his findings into a specific framework, the 7 habits of highly effective people. Covey found that most modern advice relies on personality ethics, surface-level communication tricks, or quick-fix hacks. Lasting success, however, requires character ethics, a foundation built on deep internal integrity and solid principles. Covey maps human growth along a 3-stage maturity continuum, beginning with the most basic level, dependence. In this stage, we act as victims, blaming our stress on the economy, traffic, or an unfair boss, expecting external forces to take responsibility. Escaping this victim mindset requires a complete rewiring of our internal operating system. We have to stop waiting for external circumstances to improve and instead start engineering our own outcomes. This rewiring starts with habit 1, be proactive. Reactive people let the weather or their environment dictate their mood. Proactive people understand that between every stimulus and response, there is a space where we choose our reaction. They carry their own weather. This maps onto 2 circles. The outer circle of concern holds what you cannot control, like politics or others' opinions. The inner circle of influence holds what you can control, your health, skills, and attitude. Focusing energy here causes this inner circle to expand. Once you take control, you need a destination. Habit 2 is begin with the end in mind. Covey suggests a clarifying thought experiment. Imagine you are standing at the back of the room at your own funeral. What do you want your family, friends, and colleagues to say about your character? The words you want spoken at the end of your life reveal your actual core values. By defining those values now, you can draft a personal mission statement, a written constitution that dictates the kind of person you are striving to become. Habit 1 makes you the driver of your life, and Habit 2 gives you the map. Driving at high speed is useless if you are on the wrong road. Once you have your values and your map, you need a system for daily action. Habit 3, put first things first, is the physical execution of your goals. This 2x2 grid breaks down time management. Most bounds between Quadrant 1, putting out fires, and Quadrant 4, numbing stress with distractions. Effective people dedicate 80% of time to Quadrant 2, important, non-urgent tasks like planning and building skills. They invest in growth before crises hit. Mastering your time in this quadrant secures what Covey calls the private victory. You have successfully upgraded from the stage of dependence to total self-reliance, independence. Self-reliance brings us to independence, the midpoint of Covey's maturity scale. But reaching peak effectiveness requires moving further into interdependence. Every relationship functions like an emotional bank account, where you make deposits through kindness and withdrawals through broken trust. Building those accounts require Habit 4, think win-win. Instead of viewing life as a zero-sum game where someone must lose, effective people operate on an abundance mindset. They look for solutions that benefit both sides. To find those mutual wins, you apply Habit 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Just as a doctor must diagnose a patient before prescribing medication, we must empathetically listen to another's perspective before offering our own. When you listen and seek mutual benefit, you reach Habit 6, synergize. By combining different viewpoints and strengths, you create outcomes far greater than the sum of their individual parts. This is the public victory. It is the realization that individual brilliance has a ceiling, and pooling resources with others allows you to solve previously impossible problems. There is one final failsafe for this system. Habit 7 is sharpen the saw. Covey tells of a woodcutter hacking a tree for hours with a dull blade, claiming he is too busy to stop and sharpen it. We do the same to ourselves. Personal renewal requires stepping back to sharpen your own blade across 4 dimensions: your physical health, your mental learning, your spiritual grounding,
and social connections. Covey's work proved that genuine success is an inside-out process. You build your internal character first, and the external results follow. You can stay in a state of reactive dependence, letting the world dictate your mood and your future. Or you can take the wheel. Which of the 7 habits will you implement today?